YouTube, what's going on? This is Enigma702, and I'm just here to show you guys the 64 disk drive a little bit before I end up having to sell it. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the console itself, show you how it hooks up to a Nintendo 64, and then we're going to show you a little bit of gameplay. This is the console itself. As you can see, this is the disk input, eject button, LED access light. This shows you when the system is accessing a disk, which actually doesn't happen very often. It's only usually when it's accessing a loading file. A little N64 disk drive logo. On the top here, these are the little feet that lock it onto the console so it doesn't separate. These little moldings help it fit in a little bit better. This is the little plug, I guess you'd call it, with a caution below it, and that plug goes into the bottom of your Nintendo 64. A lot of people look at their N64 consoles and they're like, what is this and what does it do? Well, that's for this. By the way, this is an American console, as you can see. I have it modded, as you can see it in there on that side as well. The Japanese consoles are made to work with this, obviously. American consoles are also NTSC and are compatible with the disk drive. However, European consoles are not. If you want to use this to play F-Zero X expansion or any Japanese games on it, though, you have to mod the cartridge slot because Japanese carts have tabs. Very simple to do. You have to take apart your N64, but it's really not that difficult. It took me about 15 minutes. All you need is a Dremel and a game bit, which goes into these little feet. There's a little game screw in there. But anyways, you flip this over. Oh, by the way, there's this little channel here, and I'm not really sure what that's for. I think it's for a controller cable, but I'm not really sure why, because the controller ports are in the front. That might be for possibly the microphone. If it's not for the microphone, the only other thing I can think that it's for is maybe they were planning on releasing a peripheral that had a wire or something that ran back here. That is made to hold a wire, and the controller wires fit perfectly in there, but I'm not really sure what it does. The bottom, these are the little feet that you use to connect it to the console. More feet to keep it from slipping, and then Jupiter, come on, dude, why are you always interrupting the videos? As you can see, this is the Japanese model. It says 64 disk drive. That's the serial number of this one, which will be sold and forever somebody else's apps today. The console looks aesthetically exactly like an N64. It has simulated vents here. The actual console has real vents. We'll show you more when it's hooked up. As you can see, no power supply. It all runs through these connectors through the actual N64. Same thing on this side. And to hook it up, you just take your console and you just basically set it right on top. And that's it. It just goes right in. Actually goes in smoother than the cartridges do. Then you flip it over, you get these little feet, just screw it in until it's tight. Get the other one. Wait a second, there you go. And bingo! Now we've got an N64 disk drive connected. That's what it looks like connected. Very cool. The lines match up almost perfectly. This is for access to the disk. This is for the power to the 64. As you can see, it's very cool looking. I like this almost only just because of the way it looks. I mean, that is what the finished N64 is supposed to look like. Well, of course, got to have this little guy. This gives you the RAM to run this thing. The disk drive games have enhanced memory and need the extra RAM to run this processor with these games. So we add the expansion pack in, and there you go. Very cool looking. I really enjoy how this console looks when it's put together. I just think it's like a Corvette or a Ferrari. I mean, it's just so smooth. The N64 itself is a very handsome console, very attractive console compared to the ones of its generation, the PlayStation, Saturn, especially its predecessor. I think the GameCube was ugly. I never liked the handle. The Dreamcast was pretty cool. The PS2, at first I liked it, but I wasn't a huge fan of it later. So, let's see. What game? Let's pick Let's go with SimCity. Alright, so let's grab our console here. And let's head over to the TV. Sorry, I would have used the one in my bedroom, but unfortunately, that TV is busted. I'm going to have to put the camera down for a second. This is my console that I'm not selling. The reason the expansion pack was out was that I was playing Majora's Mask. I only have one expansion pack right now. I'm going to obviously have to get another one because I'm selling the expansion pack with the disk drive because, like I said earlier, you need a disk drive, or you need an expansion pack to play the disk drive. Alright, so we should be good. It uses the same power supply as the 64. Let's show you the boot screen. This is the 64 disk drive's boot screen with no game in it. The one thing that the N64 can't do is boot without a game. It needs a cartridge to complete the circuit. However, when you have a disk drive hooked up to it, the circuit is automatically connected and therefore you don't need it. So, sorry, I lowered my camera. My cat was attacking my disk drive. Get out of here, dude. Go. Go! Hey! Go! Thank you. As you can see, no game inside the console. The light is on, but there's no access light. We're going to change that. Okay. Oops. Let's get SimCity out. This is the disk drive game. Get out. Get away. Go. Ugh. Stupid curious cat. You're going to mess up everything. Okay. This is a game. I showed you this in the other video, but it is like a zip disk. It's got a little sticker. These bubbles are basically every game has a bubble in the label. I'm not really sure why. I've done a lot of research on them, and it's apparently a factory glitch. Almost every game has it. This is the back of the cartridge, or disc, excuse me, a little dust cover that doesn't open unless you put the game in. Label and all in Japanese. This one has a side sticker label, all in Japanese. Some of the games don't have this. A couple of my games came packaged with it. I think it looks kind of cool. I mean, even though I don't know what it says, but I'm assuming that so people can see what the game is when you put it in your disk drive. So it just slides in like that. You have to have the system off. You don't want to try to put that in while the system's on. Oh, let's hook up a controller. I should probably have done that earlier. Hang on, I gotta put you down one more time. Sorry about that, YouTube. Alright, let me get a controller ready. I filmed the console in the other room because the light's better, so I do apologize. Alright, we've got a controller hooked up. Let's turn this beast on. And as you see, it boots right up. We've got the access light going. Pretty cool. And now, let's get the game started. And try to hold this as still as possible. That's not going to work. I should have planned that out a little bit better. You can kind of hear it reading the disc. It's pretty neat. Now this game, all in Japanese unfortunately, but is really cool. It's like a 3D version of SimCity basically. And yeah, I have no idea what Dr. Wright's saying here, but he's not very happy. So let's just go ahead and say that. I think that's going to load my city up. And what's cool about this, by the way, the disk drive, is like a cartridge, it has internal memory. It saves a bunch of cities on here. The one thing about CDs is you need a memory card. As you can see, I'm using a Rumble Pack. There's no memory card. And it remembered that my city was called something in kanji, Phantom. That's my name, James. I think that's the right answer. I don't remember. I haven't played this in so long. And I think I'm doing something. Let's see. Still reading the disc, as you can see. No cartridge. Alright, now what? I don't remember. This is my city. I have no idea what's going on. How do I bring up the menu? I don't know what I just did. That's the one downside to 64 disk drive games. If you don't know Japanese, there we go. If you don't know Japanese, you kind of have to trial and error your way through this. And the one thing about the N64 is the the stick on the analog controller is not a mouse. Now, this game, for some reason, is a 64 disk drive game that does not work with the mouse. And I still don't understand that to this day. But anyways, that's how you place a zone. You can put electrical lines. You can zoom through. I got my pollution going, so my citizens probably hate me. Now, there's a feature to zoom on the streets, but I don't remember how to do it. Damn. This is hard to do. But the point I'm trying to make is that this is a 64 disk drive game. Let's see, is there anything else I can do? I don't have very much money either, so let's see. Let's put down a school. Because everyone loves school, right? Yeah, baby. In all honesty, this game, I'm going to take a second break for a second from playing. This game isn't that great compared to SimCity games that came out at the same time. In fact, we can finish. There's not really anything else to show you. It's all in Japanese anyways. This game is not very good compared to some other SimCity games. At the time that this game came out, which was in 2000, SimCity 3000 was already out. SimCity 4 was on the horizon. I think SimCity 4 came out in 03 or 02. I don't remember exactly when. But the game was an innovator in that it allowed you to go down into the streets and see what was cracking with your citizens, and was revolutionary in the fact that it was the first home console version of SimCity that was fully functional with multiple save cities and scenarios and all that good stuff. But the graphics were dated at the time it came out. The sound's not very good. The control is appalling. SimCity was probably a bad example, but there's also Mario Artist games. I won't even lie, I haven't played these very much. I'm not a big Mario Paint fan, excuse me. One of these does graphics, one of them does sound, one of them does like animation. This one does, I don't know what that one does. I think this is the communication kit that uses all three of these to make movies. I think that's what this does. This one's animation, this one's paint, and this one is, wait, I don't know. One of these does video, one of these does animation, I think. But anyways, this is why I bought a 64 disk drive. This game goes together with this game, F-Zero X, and what this does is the Japanese version of the game, and they were going to release this in America, but obviously they never brought it out. This expansion kit allows you to make your own vehicles in the game, and also allows you to create your own tracks. And the track editor in this game is dope. It is very intensive. There's lots of options and lots of things you can do. You can basically create some really, really intricate, hard tracks. If you go on YouTube and search, you can find some user-created tracks that are just amazing. The RANDnet disk, that is basically the browser. It went together with the modem, which is this right here. This plugs into the top of the console, which looks really cool when you do, by the way. It's really cool. That little light turns green when it's accessing, and this plugs into a phone line. It is definitely dial-up at the simplest form. Very slow connection. I don't even think it's 56K, but this was designed to be the first online console. Since the disk drive didn't come out until 2000, the Dreamcast was already out. So if you want to get technical, the Dreamcast was the first console ever to have online capabilities, but this was the first console to ever have the intended full online capabilities with downloadable content, internet surfing, all that good stuff. This is Doshin 1, Doshin the Giant, a game basically. It's like a god simulator. You are a giant yellow god on an island, and you have to save and help your followers build an empire. Damn, I only have 15 seconds. That came out of nowhere. Okay, well, 15 seconds. There's two other games that I don't have, Japan Pro Golf Tour 64 and Doshin the Giant 2. The Nintendo 64 drive And damn. Oh, okay. Apparently my video camera's gonna let me go past 15 minutes this time. Okay. I'll try to make it brief, anyways. There was a couple other games that I don't have. Doshin 2 and the golf game. They're very, very rare and very expensive, so they're not really worth it. The golf game is really good, but you can get a better game for your PlayStation, you know, your Xbox, something like that, for much cheaper. Doshin 2 is more of an add-on to Doshin 1 than a separate game, and again, not really worth the money. So unless you're trying to be a die-hard collector, don't really worry about it too much. Now, the disk drive was supposed to come out in 1997. They announced it in 1996 before the 64 even came out, and it never released in America. It finally came out in Japan on December 1st, 1999. Only 15,000 were ever built, and about half of those are still around. Unfortunately, this console would have been revolutionary. It's really a shame, and probably the reason that the 64 failed compared to the PlayStation was the fact that the cartridges only held so much. So games like Final Fantasy VII were never even released on the N64, and it's a shame, really. I mean, the system had a very powerful graphics processor, but sound was muddy. There weren't full motion cut videos, which at the time of this console's life were very popular. They didn't have a big texture cache in the cartridges, so a lot of the games had muddy, blurry textures that were repeated often. So even though it had a stronger graphics processor than the PlayStation had to be hands down. I mean, Final Fantasy VII was just not possible on the N64. And it's really a shame, because games like Ocarina of Time, the Master Quest was originally intended to be on the disk drive. Majora's Mask was originally intended to be on the disk drive. Earthbound 64, Banjo-Tooie. There's so many things that this system could have done for Nintendo that it couldn't because of the fact that it was never released, and it's really a shame. This little thing right here could have changed video gaming as we know it. I mean, obviously now we have internet capabilities, downloadable content, but at the time that was not a known concept, and who knows where we would be if the system had came out when it was supposed to be. It was delayed numerous times. When it was finally released in a limited amount in Japan, it was more of a test run, and the only way you could get it is if you signed up for the RANnet internet service. That's why it was such a failure. In fact, the Virtual Boy outsold this 3-1. And unlike the Virtual Boy, it wasn't the software or the hardware. It was Nintendo's fault. I don't know what it was. Maybe this little thing was too expensive to make, or maybe they just kept trying to make it better and better. But by the time it came out, the Dreamcast was already out, the PlayStation 2 was on the horizon, and the N64 was all but dead. I mean, there was only a couple of the games that came out after this add-on was released. I mean, Banjo-Tooie, Majora's Mask, Smash Brothers, and that was really about it. I think actually Smash Brothers came out before this. I mean, Nintendo dropped the ball with the disc drive, and I'm glad that they made a comeback, but, you know, who knows what would have happened if they had just stuck to their guns. But anyways, this is my little history of the 64 disc drive. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's all one cut. I'm not good at video editing. I'm a musician, and yeah, that's not my forte. But anyways, thank you for watching, and you guys have a great day.